Go live. Hello guys. Hello guys. Hello guys. How are you? Mag-aano po tayo magbabalot tayo ng mga names. Gagawa tayo ng mga names ng mga kasali sa bunutan. Hello guys. Hello guys. Hello guys. We're live. Mag-ano lang tayo ng mga pangalan. Mag-ano lang tayo ng mga pangalan. Gagawa tayo ng mga pangalan. Mhm. Mhm. Ano yung Mary Mary lagi mo. Akala niya gawa. Okay. Guys, natapos natin yun. Busy. You like it there, huh? Huh?
It's just so beautiful, and I love the color of the sky this time
Yeah.
of the year, Jilly.
I'm live, see?
So blue.
I'm live in here.
Oh,
Yeah, live
okay,
stream.
okay.
Yeah. I say I need to go
You
out.
are a beautiful woman. I hope you
Oh,
know
oh
it.
really?
You really are. You're
Well,
very
thank
beautiful.
you so much, you
I
know.
got the apartment all clean. The kids are coming.
Oh, really?
I
They're
got
coming today?
I got it done.
Hmm.
Are we on live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to
It's
you later.
okay. It's
Okay,
okay.
Jilly.
It's no problem. You and I just went out and see what's going on in here, you know.
I thought you might be Ruth. I was going to tell Ruth. I didn't realize you could hear my music out here because I like music when I'm cleaning.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
So I'm going to turn
I
it
like
down.
music too, you know. It's okay with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. But it's so nice in here, huh?
God, it's
With all those.
beautiful. Aren't we lucky? Well, blessed. I say blessed.
We are blessed, you know.
Yes.
We are lucky. We are here in United States.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Did you watch the debate?
Yes. What do you
Wow.
think? They said that they're trying to approve the 2.2 trillions that Pelosi is asking for.
I watched yesterday. I watched
Mm,
C-SPAN and the whole House of Representatives and the Republicans going back and forth. Nancy Pelosi got up and spoke and wasn't the speaker. There was
uh-huh,
another stand-in. I don't know who it
uh-huh.
was.
I think we got it. Don't you
But
think?
yeah, well, like the one guy, he said,
Mm-hmm,
why don't you sit down and work with us? Let us work together on this. And I'm
uh-huh,
like, yeah,
mm-hmm,
because at the end of it, it was live.
uh-huh,
It was a total nay until they get into agreement because the
uh-huh.
way they got it set up, the Democrats, what they're asking for, and I'm not siding one way or the other. I think we all should come together, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
That's
mm-hmm,
me.
mm-hmm,
But uh, what they're doing, it's some kind of a tax break, but that the
mm-hmm,
Democrats want, and it's because they made an example.
mm-hmm.
God, I can't think of the guy's name out of New York.
Uh-huh.
He ran
Palashi?
for president. They're just short period, filthy rich. Well, he makes $3.5 million a year. His name will come to me.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, I know him.
they said with this kind of tax break for the
Mm-hmm,
wealthy, and it's the Democrats, you would
mm-hmm,
think that it would be a Trump thing.
mm-hmm,
And neither here and there. I'm going to write
uh-huh.
my son's name, and I'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
uh, what it would do is that
Mm-hmm,
they used an example with his 3.5 million.
mm-hmm,
He when it was when it comes tax time, he
mm-hmm.
would get back $1.5 million.
Really?
It would all, but that's just an example because they used him as an example. But that's all the wealthy,
Mm-hmm.
and us,
Mm-hmm.
and Ricketts, our governor.
Yeah.
I just moved over here, so I pay attention because I'm a registered voter,
Uh-huh.
and he may have done a lot of good things, but he did one bad thing.
Yeah.
He announced 3 days ago
Uh-huh.
that with the stimulus,
Uh-huh.
that he would not allow what states will allow it. It's allowable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he would not allow the $100 cap, putting another $100 on top of the food stamps that the poverty and the mothers with children or families with children, the mother and father who's
Uh-huh.
working 2 or 3 jobs
Uh-huh.
and get that little extra assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's needed, Jilly.
Yeah.
It's needed. I
Yeah. Uh-huh.
mean,
Yeah, it's needed for the people.
and uh, I'm Republican.
Yeah, me too, you know.
I'm Republican,
It
and
smells so good. Who's
I
cooking
see
that?
it as needed.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like what Trump had done. COVID stepped in.
Most of the
We were
business
going
people.
good.
Yeah.
We were booming.
And then it went collapse with
Oh
the, you know,
yeah, I mean,
something went
I
wrong there,
lived
you
in
know.
such
In
fear about it.
in the middle of getting everything economy up and
Well, I
you
remember
know.
I'm charged 450 plus dollars
Mhm.
of groceries, toilet paper, shampoos, bath soap,
Uh-huh.
cleansers, blah blah blah. I mean, I went manic
Uh-huh.
and shut down. I mean, I would take the trash out, and I've still got my latex gloves in my purse that I use for shopping at the store. And
Mhm.
there for a while, when I would have to go out, I'd wear sunglasses, a mask, and my gloves, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But when I would go out where I would wear my gloves and a
Mhm.
mask to go out and dump the trash. And
Yeah.
all other residents were not doing that. They were by each other, and
Uh-huh.
I shut down. I mean, I got enough of everything where I shut myself in
Uh-huh.
for from
Mhm.
all of February, all of March,
Uh-huh.
and I started coming out again in May. And
Mhm.
believe it or not, after 2 months, I needed to go get more stuff.
Yeah. So what do you think who won on that the debate?
What did I think about the debate?
Uh-huh.
I believe both parties should have acted more maturely. Trump is Trump, but this is
Yeah.
a debate,
Mhm.
and he's an educated man.
Mhm.
And I did debate, and you have to debate in a boardroom. I've done a lot of, oh boy.
Mhm.
And especially when it comes to the budget and stuff, but
Mhm.
both of them should have been more mature
Uh-huh.
and got their points across. This is what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
and this is what I'm going to do. And what I heard from Biden is stuff that Trump set in place immediately.
There's one thing that Biden said that I kind of like that. He said that he's gonna put 1,300 on top of the pensioner, you know,
I didn't hear
pension.
that.
I hear that, you know, when it comes to, you know, so I said that will put me in a good position
Oh,
with that.
that's just
If
it.
if if all of us will
You know,
have
and
1,300.
if in
Mm.
the Senate, if the Republicans and the Democrats would just sit down at the table,
Uh-huh.
but it's all one-sided and
Mm-hmm.
fighting each other, and
Yeah.
in the
I
meantime,
think that's why they can get it together.
families and children are
Hmm.
suffering.
Yeah, that's why
I
they can
worked for
get it.
Child Protective Services
Oh, really?
back when I was
Yeah.
30, 29, 30,
Mm-hmm.
and boy, I took in children,
Yeah.
and I went into areas where
Mm-hmm.
there's some really, 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 really families out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, there
then
is.
there's the
Yeah.
ones that
Mm-hmm.
are
There.
just sick. You know,
Yeah.
they can't help it. They're either alcoholics or drug addicts
Yeah.
or
They can't get it together. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well.
we do need more mental health
Well, I
and
think what.
offered
Mm-hmm.
free if needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
What's your what do you think on that, Jilly?
Well, they got. Well, that's the only thing I. Because actually, I don't really listen too much on politician. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Not too much. You know, I only take if I see something it will benefit me. You know, that's where I go to. You know what I mean?
I
I mean, well, what you
exactly,
gonna do if it's not
exactly.
benefiting you?
And
Huh?
this I was watching
That thing
another.
that Biden said we will give 1,300 more on top of the pensioner. I like that. You
I
know.
do too.
You know, I seen a lot of, did you see all over the United States, they build so much buildings, houses, and stuff like that. So I think America is rich.
Oh, whoa! I don't.
Uh, I think our money that we put in into them, the Social Security, I think they went skyrocketed trillions and trillions.
Yeah. Well,
It's our
what was
monies. I
that?
mean,
Which president was it? God,
you know.
was it Roosevelt? I
Mhm.
think it was Roosevelt.
Mhm.
By law, they were never, ever, ever to
Mhm.
dip
To
into the
that.
Social
Well,
Security money because
yeah,
that's what we pay to
yeah,
take care of us when we
yeah,
do get old. Well,
yeah.
Roosevelt dipped into it, and then it just became, you know,
Uh huh.
yeah, they dipped.
A
And
lot.
so
I
we
think
should
they
have
will.
a hell of a lot more money.
That's what I meant. You know.
Yeah, in Social Security.
That's what I
But we
meant.
don't because
Mm.
they borrowed from it and they never
Yeah. Pay it back,
pay
right?
it back.
See, that's why I think our social security money went is rocketed to trillions and trillions. Which if Biden is saying he will put in 1,300 for each of us on top of our pension, that will be great. That will benefit me, and that what I would care. You
That
know.
would be
See.
a little less than what I used to make a month.
Yeah, so if I get that, if we will get that 1,300 on top
I'm
of it,
only
I
counting
will
making
say,
40,000 a
you
year,
got my vote,
okay?
if
I
it is
got the
like that,
life
right?
left in my life.
Right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if if I don't benefit it, if you don't benefit it, why
Hey
should you?
Ruth, can I ask you a favor? What? I didn't realize my music was that loud. I like to listen to music when I'm cleaning. I can't hear it. Oh, well then it's all good. It's
I
all
can,
good. I was gonna ask her if
I
she would
can.
just get the remote and turn it down.
What you can do with that thing? It's dent.
I could. She is. You are amazing. You are just freaking amazing.
No, see, that's what I meant. I heard that, and I heard Biden said that, and if it will benefit me, that will be good because
Yes.
there's a lot of things that it's benefiting me when it comes to
Yeah.
things like that.
We're not the 1%ers. We're the 99%ers.
Yeah, because I think our social security pension they went all the way a lot of trillions in there. I seen they're building all these things all over United States.
Well, see,
You
and
know.
back in my 30s, they
Mhm.
were already freaking out
Mhm.
and worrying about us baby boomers
Yeah. Mhm.
because they knew when we got to this age
Mhm.
that instead of putting in,
Mhm.
and they said that we would be a demanding lot, that we wouldn't,
Mhm.
and worried about what they were going to do with this when I was in my 30s, and
Uh
I'm
huh.
like, dang,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how COVID came along and kind of took care of that problem, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't
Cause.
that sad?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just like Trump is doing really good on economy. Bum
Yeah.
bum bum bum, and all of a sudden when something's crashed it, COVID and all that, then that the people who is against the government or black people, you know what? Gail? There is none in Filipinos. There's not a lot of Filipinos in a higher paying job in the United States.
You know,
You will
since
never
you
see in
told me,
Congress.
since
You
you
never, and we never, and we are
since
not.
you told me that, I've been paying attention because I never
Yeah,
really paid attention. Okay,
yeah,
and so that's just it, an
And
awareness.
look at these black people. They're all over the, higher paying job and everything, stuff like that.
Uh
Hmm?
oh, I can't think of his name, but I was watching an old movie the other night,
Uh-huh.
and it was back in the day. Remember, everybody
Uh-huh.
was kung fu fighting. I thought, wow, because
Yeah.
I'm paying attention, but you really don't see a lot.
Yeah.
You know where I see a lot of
Hmm.
the Asians
Uh-huh.
is
Hmm.
doctors.
Yeah, they are
Some of the
doctors,
most
but
magnificent, brilliant
yeah,
minds.
I know, but
They're doctors.
yeah, but this
So they're
Filipino, a lot of
invisible,
doctors.
except for when we go see them,
Yeah, a lot of doctors, but they don't make as much as those movie
Oh,
star,
no, no,
all those
no.
singers, and all this. You know what I mean?
I
So
know
I
what you're
said, there's
saying.
not a
I
lot
know,
of
yeah, I
Filipinos,
do.
you know. So
I
all
know
this
exactly.
complaining and burning stuff, I mean,
It's
that's kind,
insane.
that's kind of terrible, don't you
We're
think?
going through enough hell, and that just adds to it. That's another one.
Uh huh.
But what's happened with us being locked down,
Mhm.
everybody got to know themselves better. I know
Yeah. Uh
I
huh.
went
Yeah.
badass crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazier, I should say.
Uh,
And I mean, I'm walking around,
yeah. So I said, I think,
but
that's kind of terrible.
but we not only found a lot more of our own identities or lonelinesses or whatever it is,
Hmm.
but I have an outlook on life again like I'm a kid, except for days I can't get up.
Yeah. Uh huh.
So I feel good when I feel good, and when I'm down, I'm down. From pain, not mental so much. I went through that.
Yeah.
But now we're forming an identity
Mhm.
by paying attention to politics, and they brainwash us, and that's what you see.
Mhm.
That's what you see all the time. I'm like, why can't we just see some news? Like, what's going on? What's
Mhm.
this? What's this family?
Yeah.
Something like
But
that.
on
But it's
top of it though,
constant
but it's still.
advertisements about
Mhm.
this is a bad person, and
Uh huh.
you should go for me, and then
Yeah.
that's a bad person because,
No, I
and I'm
think.
like, oh my god,
But
I'm
it's still,
sick of it.
Gail, it's still a good country,
Oh, I
considering,
love the United
United
States of
States. It's
America.
still a good country, but,
Oh,
it's just like, a lot of people are getting too rich, and then the poor are getting too poor, it's going that,
that
it's
direction.
just like in the Philippines, rich are getting too rich, poor are getting too poor. It's
Yeah,
just like as if those rich people will take their money when they die.
yeah.
See?
I hear you. I hear
As
you.
if when they get buried, they can take all those stuff, good stuff, expensive stuff with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See? But at the end of the day, when they get buried, it's by themselves.
Well,
Mm.
you know, that
Mm.
was a teaching I had
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
That the only thing you're born naked,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they
You'll.
clothe you when you die unless you're burned, and I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
be burned.
Mm.
But you you're born naked with nothing, and
Uh-huh.
you're going no matter how much money you make. Yeah, it's great to go to the kids or whatever, or your cat or whatever rich people do,
Yeah.
and you die. You're
Mm.
born with nothing, you die with nothing.
Uh-huh.
You know, so
I think you should just give those.
material things
Mm-hmm.
are just
Mm-hmm. Like us.
they're dispensable. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, like us, we work for those money, the money that we put in the social
everything,
security. I
fingers
think,
to the bone, dirty
yeah,
ass
I
work,
think we
and
should
then do
make
good
more.
work.
I think we should make more, not like. I think when they give it to the bank to this business people, they make sure they said this is came from the social security. So when you when you make money off of those, you put them back in the social security. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, when you look
See?
at your pay stub,
Yeah,
a big chunk of it went
it went
to
down
Social
there. Yeah,
Security, and
and
oh my God, oh looky, Jilly,
yeah. Oh well, we
that's
have.
our girl.
Yeah.
I
So I
don't know
think
what
that's
she we
may,
should call her.
maybe that's why some people are just ruining these businesses. You know what I mean? Because of that mentality, that those money that they use for business is really our money, our social security, and the tax we pay. Who's gonna give you the money? Nobody will just hand you the money
But the federal government
Hmm.
stepped in and dipped into our Social
Yeah.
Security back during Roosevelt.
When I was in Indiana, they will say, I don't know what's wrong with our politician.
So they
They're always,
screwed us way back
y-
then.
yeah, they said, I don't know what's wrong with our politician. They should just mind their own business. Just stay and minding United States,
You know what?
period.
And now look and look a
Ah, look,
squirrel.
oh, look, oh.
Oh my gosh.
Look. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, you're done.
He left. I can see it here. And the squirrel. You know what I mean? So I think, I don't know, I don't know what's wrong, but remember, in the Bible it says everything will end in this world.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I can't help but wonder if we're not in Revelation
Yeah, it's
with the
just
weather,
the way
the
the
fires,
yes.
the
The end.
COVID,
We are in the
the
end.
whole world.
Yeah, it looks like we are already in the end. So I think those two poor people need to at least experience a little good life in this world. Don't you think?
I agree.
I mean, like these rich people,
That's
billionaire,
what
they eat so much
I
good
take joy
food.
in just coming
Yeah,
out here and seeing the
yeah,
deer and the squirrel and the butterfly and the
yeah.
birds. Oh, speaking of birds,
Uh-huh,
oh, you weren't home, or I would
uh-huh,
have got you.
yeah,
That would have been so cool to film. I was sitting out here the other night, two,
uh-huh,
3 nights ago. Did you see Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds, that
uh-huh,
movie?
uh-huh,
Where all these,
uh-huh,
well, it was robins, man. It was so cool. They're going south.
uh-huh,
So they were thick in the trees and they were all over the roof of our apartment
uh-huh,
and in the tree over here, and they were flying back and forth, and I just sat here going,
uh-huh.
wow, because they were coming out of those trees. I mean,
Yeah.
they were thick, Jilly, lined up along the top of the
Mm-hmm.
peak of the roof of our apartments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, dang. But
Yeah.
I get joy out of that because I don't have the money to be able to go and do the things like I used to.
Uh-huh.
But I thank God that when I did work for that money,
Uh-huh.
that I did go and do things
Things that
and
you want.
take
Mm-hmm.
my children on the Grapes of Wrath vacations with
Uh-huh.
a tent and ice chest tied to the top, and
Oh, really?
yeah, man, we went to Mount Rushmore
Uh-huh.
and Crazy Horse. And
Uh-huh.
Crazy Horse, they looked in the car and they
Uh-huh.
saw the three boys in the back
Uh-huh.
and looked at Jim, looked at me, and looked at the top all packed up.
Mm-hmm.
They waved us in. They let us in for free. And then one time we were coming back from a trip, and people were driving by and pointing at us. And
Mm-hmm.
so I thought that they were making fun of our grapes of wrath vacation look, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm flipping them off and saying some, like that. Not,
Yeah.
but saying it.
Uh-huh.
We get to the gas station.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't do that again after that. I was
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
ashamed. The ice chest lid was straight up.
Uh-huh.
And that from
Yeah.
the wind. They were trying to tell us that our ice chest lid was up, and I'm going, fuck you.
Yeah. That's really funny. Yeah.
But
You're funny girl.
and just like going and sitting by the river, and there's
Uh-huh.
some lakeside property I know of that I go to get away to.
Uh-huh.
So, uh,
Mm.
these are simple things that just bring me joy, and my
Yeah.
grandchildren and children.
Yeah, that's why I said the little things will just give you joy. It's not like a lot of things that, because if you can't enjoy in little things, I mean, nothing will make you enjoy, anymore.
That's
See? Because you keep on, imagining her.
well, Jilly. Honestly,
Hmm. I'm smelling barbecue. I
I
wonder who's
really
cooking
did go to
barbecue.
the other side, and
Mm.
I really did.
Uh,
I saw when I came out of my body, I saw my head laying on the bed,
mm-hmm.
limp sideways, and my body up.
Mm-hmm.
I did,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a wisp of the spiritual Jesus, and then it was like I was being stuck in cotton.
Yeah.
Rock came for me 3 times, and he looked so good. He's my deceased husband.
Oh, yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
died way back when Justin was 12.
Mm.
But it was like being stuck in cotton, and a voice,
Mm-hmm.
not a scare. It was no angels. I didn't, but a voice said, "You do not need to hate. You do not need to judge."
Mm-hmm.
This was in 2016, November of.
Mm-hmm.
I came back to the most hellish pain I've ever experienced in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have pain till the day I die. But I'm so grateful that I've been given another chance. And I look at everything
Yeah.
so much different now.
Yeah. You should enjoy little things, because
Well,
I
that's why I like seeing you get out. That's
yeah,
why I say
I'm
good
always
for
gone,
you.
Did you see me?
Good for
Always going
you.
all
That
over.
when you get a chance to go and
Yeah,
visit,
I just go.
you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, and I'm trying to enjoy my life now. It's not like before when I was much younger.
Oh, we were working our asses off and,
Well,
working for a living.
yeah, working for a living plus helping. I'm helping my family because at that time where we
Pulling
came
the
from in the
bed every
Philippines,
night and
a,
day.
a lot of we are so poor. You know,
Oh, hell yeah.
because
Yeah.
of course my mom and dad they're not. Sometimes some people are not. Given the chance to how to make more money. See. So when I was growing up, I go to school and I work and go to school and work all the way up to here
I
in
started working when I was 12. I started
yeah.
late.
Yeah, I was second grade when I
I
started
did
working.
dishes and was cook's helper, and
Uh-huh.
then I did ironing for people, and
Mm-hmm.
then I cleaned some really gross stuff for
Uh-huh.
$8 an hour. But back then, $8 was really good
Oh, it's a
money.
lot of money,
Yeah,
$8.
it was.
I
Yeah, it
remember
was.
when I came here, it's only I think $1 and something or $2, but I make $2.80.
Oh,
That
when I
was a
first
big
started
money.
working, that was when I was 15, I think.
Mhm.
14, I lied and said I was 16 because back then they didn't have computers and stuff. And
Mhm.
I went to work for A&W Drive-In,
Yeah.
and it was 90 cents an hour
Uh-huh.
and car hop, but then
That
car
I
hop
yeah.
involves cleaning the parking lot afterwards and
Uh-huh.
cleaning the chicken vat. You had to take turns with that, and that was a
Uh-huh.
big, greasy, heavy pain in the So I lied and said I was 14
Mhm.
and made
Mhm.
root beer from scratch. That was
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Mhm.
90 cents an hour plus tips is what they told me.
Yeah.
Well, it was the rich kids that came in that daddy could afford to buy them a nice car. And they gave tips all right. Dirty, nasty remarks or throwing their stuff on the ground and,
Oh yeah.
you know,
They
making you feel like
they
trash. And I looked at them like,
they're
you have no clue, buddy, because it wouldn't sway who I was. But I believe that's kind of the Apache side that I was raised with,
Mhm.
those values,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, I used to have a friend back in
not
Texas.
letting
They got
how other people think about me affect me.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
you're you, and I love your aura and your spirit. You're a good person, Jilly.
I try to be a
And
good
oh, you
person.
are. And
Mhm.
look at me. Oh, you are.
No, I tried not, before that's why my son always say, "You don't need to get married, mom. You don't get along with men."
I don't eat.
So that's why.
I don't either.
so 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 I just did that. Oh, well, I never
I
find the
stuck
one
with the
I like
one for
really good.
27 years. I don't
Hmm.
know, but
Huh?
I don't either, Jilly.
Uh,
I love it. I
well,
love it.
and my son is probably like that because then if he needed me, I will be there right away.
I really did try to kill my husband. I really, really
It,
did.
it smells so good. You know who's cooking?
Somebody's cooking.
He's cooking barbecue, some kind of barbecue or something. It smells so good. Well, you know, it's really funny. So that's
So
that that's
true.
that's that's
I
that's
spent the
what
night
I
in jail for that one.
really.
I did.
You went to jail. What they say? You're trying to kill your husband, woman?
Well, they couldn't believe that I busted the door in from the hinge side and then
Really?
jumped on the door and then jumped on him and wrapped my legs around his waist. And I was choking. And,
You're strong, huh? You're strong when you're young,
oh
huh?
my God. Uh, I don't, it was a rage that took over.
Yeah.
It was like the last straw.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
Snap.
It's getting cold again. I need
Yeah,
some
the
jacket.
clouds have moved in.
Yeah, really. Oh, but it's nice. There's no.
This morning I was wearing a coat
Uh-huh.
and then it got hot, so I
Oh,
took my coat off and
yeah.
came home and changed because
Uh-huh.
then it was too hot.
Yeah. I just wore a vest when I left this morning to go to my sister's house. And I didn't know that she's celebrating my brother-in-law's birthday. And
Oh,
her friends are there.
cool,
So that's
cool.
why that's why I said this is the cake told me if I want some of that cakes to take some. Okay, I'm gonna slice all of my neighbor. Slice some for my neighbors. Dun, 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 dun. So I got 8 slices.
Isn't that amazing how the chill just set in so quickly?
Yeah. Well, here though, sometimes it's very warm and then all of a sudden it's too cold
Uh
in
huh.
in in uh, in
I
Nebraska.
love the heat. I am gonna hate. I think a lot of us don't like the cold.
Yeah.
And another thing, you know how I love my sundresses, right? They're
Yeah.
easy. You just throw them on and throw some sandals, and you're good to go.
Uh-huh.
In the winter, you gotta put on tights and knit
Yeah.
socks
It's so
and
heavy to carry everything.
sweaters and jackets and hats and gloves and boots. I just hate it. I just love throwing something on,
Yeah.
being a free spirit and
Yeah. And
going,
go. Yeah.
man.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's nice. But I think at least we get to experience 4 different kind of weather.
Yeah, we do.
you
We
know.
do.
Not like it's always hot or it's always cold or But
I love
hmm
spring, summer, and fall. And
yeah,
winter, if it didn't get below zero, it wouldn't be so bad.
yeah. I think I like spring. When you're getting ready to buy some flowers and
The best.
plants.
You
Right?
know, that's why the winter, old man winter, he comes along so that we can just relish in the new growth and the
Uh-huh.
fresh air and you can just smell it,
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
this is pretty too. And
Uh-huh.
I was thinking in just a short while,
Mm-hmm.
all these leaves are going to be gone.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You were here last fall, right?
Yeah, I'm here
What did it
already.
look like when all the leaves came
Oh,
down?
it's so nice. I kind of, because when I moved here, just love my place.
I
They
did
said
too.
they offer me an apartment in the other side, in that old Bellevue there, and I refused. And then I waited for this.
When I got this one,
Hmm.
two others that I applied at called and I told
Yeah,
Tracy
I
because
turned
they
them
called
down.
Tracy and
Yeah,
I
I
said,
turned them.
tell them no,
Hmm.
tell them no. And you know, when Brenda first called me and
Hmm.
told me it was a studio and it had a wall that divided the bedroom and the front room
Uh-huh.
and the kitchen's right in there,
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh no.
Uh-huh.
She knew because I kept calling her. I'd been waiting a long time.
Uh-huh.
And she knew I really wanted to move. And I said, oh,
Uh-huh.
Brenda, can I wait until one of the duplexes come open or can you move to a bigger one when it comes open? And she goes, Gail, we're in the middle of COVID. There's an opening now. Do you want it or not? And I'm like, yeah, yes, sight unseen. Tracy came and looked at it. She goes, "You better get rid of your dining room table and chairs."
Yeah. No, me when she called me, she showed me Kathy's apartment. And when I saw Kathy's apartment, oh, I like this. I just love this. I'll take it.
Those apartments are they're the same
Uh-huh.
layout
Uh-huh.
exactly as the ones like the one that I lived in over in
Uh-huh.
Iowa. So when
Hello.
I went in, I was like, wow. And you know what? I like that this is different
Uh-huh.
because I hated it over there.
Yeah.
So, it's
Mm-hmm.
different and I like it.
I never seen a lot of apartment that they're like this. I never seen a lot of them. So when I saw this, oh, if I feel like I'm in my
Well, and
hometown, just
it's a retirement community.
uh
They call them cottages,
yeah,
even though
they yeah.
I say apartments.
Yeah, they just like a bungalow, small bungalow house.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I like it. I really like it. I like being alone. you know.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I don't want to live with somebody, you
Well,
know.
you like yourself. I
Uh-huh.
like who I am, and that's good. You are comfortable
Uh-huh.
with Jilly.
Uh-huh.
I'm comfortable with Gail.
Uh-huh.
That's good. It's people that are not that they want a companion or that
Yeah.
that that's where the loneliness and
Mm.
depression sets in because
Yeah.
they haven't learned to be comfortable with themselves.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that's good that if somebody wants a companion,
Mm-hmm.
like Kathy, she said, she would like to have a male friend. And I said,
Yeah, but
when we were at the party, and I told her, I said, hey, I said, you still
but
got
it's
it
hard to
going. I
find
said,
one
you
though.
still got it going. If that's what you want,
But
go for
but
it.
it's hard to find
If it
one.
makes you happy,
But it's hard to find one. Don't you agree?
I don't look. I don't know.
Yeah, but
And if anyone looks at me, I give it, if it's a male,
uh,
I'm like, you know, don't don't even look at me.
yeah, you know. Oh, look at
Yeah.
that square. It's
Oh,
really, it's really funny. Mm.
it's got
But
lots
I
of
like this life,
acorns and shit out there.
I like this life. Retired. You can,
Oh, The third
Do whatever you
trimester
want to
of
do.
life.
Mm-hmm.
I call them the three trimesters.
Yeah.
Our
Uh-huh.
childhood, our middle years, just a
Uh-huh.
second. We're in our third trimester, girl,
Yeah.
and we're not going to be born. We're
But
living.
yeah, but I like to see what's all gonna happen, because things are happening. It's so new to us. I wanna see more. You know, it looks like we are in the end already, but what's gonna happen next? Know what I mean?
Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
See, that's
cannot
why.
answer that question.
That's why.
Nobody knows. It's kind of
Mhm.
like life after life.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen,
I just know
but.
somebody that I'm praying for right now. I'm really worried about.
Mhm.
Had an afterlife experience and saw darkness and dark shadow people, and that worried me.
Mhm.
So we talked about it, and
Mhm.
now I don't know. He went to ICU, and
Mhm.
last I heard, he was going in for surgery because
Mhm.
I don't know, where it's
Mhm.
at right now. I don't know if he made it or not.
Oh yeah, you never get in touch with him yet.
Well, it's my you saw my good friend Trishka
Uh huh. Yeah.
and her son Tommy.
Uh huh.
It's Tommy,
Oh yeah.
and I love Tommy.
Oh
Trish and
okay.
I worked together for 2 decades.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
and she knows my boys as well as I know her children.
Mhm.
Mainly Tommy,
Yeah.
and so that's tough too
Uh huh.
because of COVID.
Mhm.
Nobody's allowed to go to the hospital. Her and her husband are able to take turns.
Uh huh. Mhm.
So she put the phone up to his ear and let me talk to him,
Mhm.
even though he's comatose. But
Yeah.
I know he can hear, I know he can
Mhm.
hear.
Yeah. Hmm. They must eat.
But
Smell
see,
is
and
gone.
so that makes it hard too,
Uh huh.
just
Mhm.
I really hope from what I listened to when I listened to the Senate and one of them get up there and speak
Mhm.
that he said the Democrats have got to quit putting fear in people's heads about taking the vaccine
Uh huh.
because he's like the head of health and CDC and all this stuff, but he's on the
Mhm.
Senate.
Yeah.
And he said, because we are not going to give it until it's safe and effective.
Uh huh.
And he says, we are already prepared. He goes, we have all the armed services, but they're not going to be armed to make us take a shot. He goes,
Mhm.
we've got all of them
Mhm.
on standby and ready to go because as soon as we get the word that the vaccine's
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah.
that we can vaccinate Americans,
Yeah.
he said, they will be out and people are not going to have to wait
Uh
to
huh.
get the vaccine.
Mhm.
Now, my theory, this is
Mhm.
my theory since the beginning of this nightmare when China
Mhm.
seeded the world,
Uh huh.
they seeded us on purpose. They know the virus. They're the ones responsible for the other viruses.
Uh huh.
The dictator, this is my theory.
Mhm.
I haven't heard this from anybody else. This is my theory.
Mhm.
They already have an antidote.
Mhm.
They already have a vaccine, and they
Mhm.
seeded us. Now
Yeah.
they're not going to give it to their, people that they control.
Uh
It's
huh.
just going to go to their military, of course, and
Yeah.
the big dogs,
Yeah.
the big dogs, the
Mhm.
one percenters.
Mhm.
So, it's a nightmare we're living. It really is a
Well, it's
nightmare.
good thing they don't have those kind of people that they're doing it in what, Seattle or Oregon.
Yeah, yeah.
At least we don't have nothing
Oh,
here.
thanks be to God.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks be to God.
See.
and the fires, just the
And
smoke coming in
yeah,
and
and the
clouding the
fires in
sky
California
here,
and everything, you
and
know.
the blue sky not being the autumn blue like normal, because I
Uh-huh.
love that color in the fall.
Uh-huh.
Um, that was sad. I can't when where we were getting that kind of a smoke blowing over us,
Mm-hmm.
and the state that was burning is
Mm-hmm.
thousands of miles away.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, Jilly.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. That's pretty wow.
Yeah. You know.
And I'm glad that you have your faith.
Uh-huh, yeah. I
Yeah.
always pray, you know. And I study the Bible, you
Good.
know,
Good. Yeah.
we you know, in the Philippines we got this preacher. He's really good when it comes to Bible. It's direct, but it's all Bible. No, no, you don't see. He don't explain it on experiences or
He
any other.
teaches the good book.
He no. What he do is he get the answers from the Bible. Everything from the Bible. You know, he's really good.
We need
He's
more like him.
yeah. He's different than a lot of preachers that they're calling
We need
preachers.
more like that.
That's when I find out there too that Church of God in the Bible is only one Church of God, none other. So, and it says in the Bible, you cannot make your own church.
We're in church right now.
Yeah, it has to
Good
be church.
people.
Yeah,
And look where we're at.
it says Church of
Just
God in
us
there.
meeting and talking right here. That's
Yeah,
the way I see it. When
talking to
I
God,
know that. I
talk
know that
about
from
God.
scripture.
Yeah,
But don't you kind of see it that way?
yeah, well, you
We're
know,
discussing, we're talking, and we're
yeah.
talking about the good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like talk about the good Lord.
Oh, because there's a lot of what the what is
Agnostic.
agnostic people.
Yeah, agnostics.
Yeah, a lot of those. But no, I believe in God because everything there's a lot of things that people can't do. They can't make air good enough for the good and the bad of the people. See, God is giving it to the bad and the good people,
Yes.
not only good people. He's giving it to everybody. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you know, only He can judge.
Yeah.
But if I were to judge, I
Mm-hmm.
would think that the evildoers,
Uh,
their souls are already taken by the devil.
well, no,
Unless they turn to God and
no,
ask
yeah.
God to come into their heart.
Well, no, well, God, you know, it says in the
He's
Bible.
forgiving. He'll take
Yeah,
a lost sheep. If a
yeah,
man murdered 20 people and he comes to God,
yeah. Just like
he's
Paul, you know.
saved.
Mm-hmm.
That I mean,
Mm,
that's the way I see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in this world that human being can't do, you know, that it's existing like the air, all this volcano thing and you can wrap that. You can't what do you call this, like burning in California.
Yeah.
That thing has been burning for a long years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
See, you know, something is wrong is
Nature
there.
is powerful.
Uh,
Man cannot beat nature.
yeah, see, you know, and
Nature is the most powerful force we've got.
yeah.
And sometimes I think they're fighting. It's like, hey,
Yeah,
the
cause
devil and God.
so it's you know, I think we are in the end time, so we must be good
And
for
not
for
only
for
good,
God, you
and
know,
that's,
we must
Julie, that's what
be
I don't
good
get.
for God.
Be kind.
Hmm.
Just be kind and take time.
Yeah.
I really don't see color.
Hmm.
Everybody is. Saint Bernadette said it.
Hmm.
All human beings matter. She didn't say life. She said all human beings matter, and they do.
Is that your kids?
Oh my gosh, it's Jalen too.
Is that your
Yes,
grandson?
yes,
Oh,
that's
he's
my
so
grand.
good looking too, huh?
Jalen's Alexis, my granddaughter, and then my beautiful daughter.
Wow, they're so good
Thank you.
looking and beautiful.
Oh, yes, God. You never have to ask if you come by, Jared. I want some of your pottery you
Oh,
made.
he's tall
Now
too.
you looked into it because I'm looking for a pottery class that we can all grandkids and I can go to because
See you later.
love it.
Bye.
I love it. And so I want to get back. Jilly, it was really good
Very,
talking to you.
very good talking to
But I'm going to get back into it. And I found a place that where there are lessons and we can do it.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
George, the thing that we have asked for repeatedly is information directly from the doctors, a briefing directly from the doctors. We have the statement that you've discussed, the second statement from this doctor explaining what exactly is taken in terms of this antiviral cocktail, but very little information beyond that, really no official information beyond that. And the challenge here, George, is that as we get statements from the president's press secretary, there's just a real question about the reliability of the information, given that they have not been particularly transparent, especially on issues of the president's health, but on other issues as well, which is why the request is being made by me and by some of the other reporters is they must get official information directly from the president's doctor. And here, as you can hear, the sound of Marine One is just about to land. Marine One about to touch down at Walter Reed Medical Center. President Trump is inside. As we've said, he's preparing to spend a few days, according to White House officials, to be treated for COVID-19. Melania Trump, the First Lady, of course, also tested positive. She stayed back at the White House. As John said, we have not heard beyond these paper statements from the president's doctors what more they can tell us about his condition. But we do know that they would not be taking this step if they didn't have to, if it wasn't absolutely necessary in their mind at this point for the president to be in a hospital setting, to have access to the world's best doctors and the best equipment. As we see everyone crowding around, we're not really sure what exactly we're going to be able to see of the president as he walks inside. And it brings to mind... Go ahead, John. Yeah, George, it's quite a scene here. As I mentioned, I'm right across the street from Walter Reed. Crowd of people across the way. As word got out that the president was heading here to Walter Reed, you have people coming over to try to catch a glimpse. Obviously, the view quite blocked. But what a sight to see Marine One essentially medevacing the President of the United States here to the Walter Reed Medical Center. We saw him walk to the helicopter on his own, but still quite a scene, essentially medevacing of the President of the United States. What a year 2020 has been. It began with impeachment for the President, the pandemic, racial riots and protests in the streets over the course of the summer, and now President Trump heading into Walter Reed Hospital to be treated for the coronavirus. We're going to move now to World News Tonight with David Muir. Stay with us.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
News coming shortly before 1 a.m. this morning. The president in a tweet telling the country he and the First Lady have coronavirus. Tonight, President Trump's doctor on his symptoms so far, the treatment so far, and the decision now to take the president to Walter Reed Medical Center, where he's expected to spend several days. Tonight, the White House in crisis mode. Vice President Mike Pence stepping in for the president on a call with governors today. All of this just 24 hours after learning the president's top aide, Hope Hicks, who had traveled with the president all week, had tested positive. After learning she had the virus, the president was back out and traveling for a fundraiser. New questions tonight about why that happened. And New Jersey's governor now urging people at that fundraiser to get checked. And the immediate concern this morning for Joe Biden's health, too. After sharing that debate stage for more than 90 minutes with President Trump, the country waiting for hours today for test results from Joe Biden. He and his wife Jill, both negative. John Carl and Mary Bruce standing by tonight. And with just 32 days until the election, the Trump campaign in turmoil tonight, postponing some events. Will there even be any more debates? And Joe Biden late today in Michigan, his message for the president and first lady, and his plea to the country tonight about the virus and masks. And tonight, questions about the president's age and other factors as he now fights this. Dr. Jen Ashton and Dr. Rajesh Shah with us here tonight. And what happens if the president, even temporarily, becomes unable to do his job? Terry Moran standing by on that tonight. And reaction now pouring in from around the world, including the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who says he nearly died from the virus. His message tonight, as global headlines mark the news, the leader of the free world battling COVID. A special edition of World News Tonight begins now.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on this Friday night. It was a lot to take in today as millions of Americans woke up to the news President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have both tested positive for COVID-19. And tonight we have just witnessed a remarkable image. The president leaving the White House, giving a thumbs up, wearing a mask. White House staff wearing masks as well. This was the president just moments ago. Marine One then carrying the president from the White House to Walter Reed Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. The White House saying his doctor and medical team suggested the move as the president now fights this virus, saying this move is out of an abundance of caution. But we do know he is showing some symptoms. It was just before 1 this morning when the president tweeted the news that he and the First Lady had tested positive. The White House physician then quickly saying that the president can carry out his duties, quote, without disruption. The news coming after we first learned that the president's top aide, Hope Hicks, had tested positive Thursday morning. Hicks by the president's side as he traveled to many events in recent days. 7 rallies in the past 12 days, including Wednesday night in Duluth, Minnesota. And of course, Tuesday night's debate with Joe Biden together on that stage for 90 minutes, socially distanced. But there was also immediate concern with this news for Joe Biden's health, too. This morning, reporters waited for hours before learning Joe Biden's test had come back negative, his wife Jill Biden negative, too. So we're going to carefully guide you through it all tonight, beginning with this late move, taking the president to Walter Reed Medical Center. And here's our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
A sign of just how serious the president's condition is. He was taken via helicopter late this afternoon to the Walter Reed Medical Center. Multiple sources close to the president say he is experiencing the signature symptoms of COVID-19. Fever, chills, nasal congestion, and a cough. The White House released a statement from the president's doctor saying he has been treated with a, quote, polyclonal antibody cocktail, as well as zinc, vitamin D, famotidine, melatonin, and a daily aspirin. As of this afternoon, the doctor wrote, the president remains fatigued but in good spirits. He's being evaluated by a team of experts, and together we'll be making recommendations to the president and first lady in regard to the next steps. Earlier, Chief of Staff Mark Meadows provided few details on the president's condition.
The president does have mild symptoms. He continues to be not only in good spirits, but very energetic.
Remarkably, Meadows, who has been in close contact with the president, addressed reporters without a mask. So did Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany, who refused to elaborate on the president's health or how he was tested.
I'm not going to get into the president's symptoms exactly. I'm not going to get into exactly what type of test.
The president himself has gone silent. The last word from him, a tweet shortly before 1 a.m., where he announced that he and the First Lady had tested positive. His public schedule included a phone call today to discuss protecting seniors from coronavirus, but Vice President Pence handled the call instead. Last night, President Trump told Sean Hannity he was waiting on test results after learning one of his very closest aides, Hope Hicks, had tested positive. He implied Hicks had been infected by a member of the military or law enforcement.
You know Hope very well. She's fantastic and she's done a great job. But it's very, very hard when you are with people from the military or from law enforcement and they come over to you and they want to hug you and they want to kiss you because we really have done a good job for them. And you get close and things happen. I was surprised to hear with Hope, but she's a very warm person with them, and she knows there's a risk.
Hicks had been at the president's side all week. Tuesday, she was at the debate in Cleveland, where members of the president's family sat in the front row without masks. Wednesday, she traveled to his rally in Duluth, Minnesota. You see her here walking to Marine One without a mask. Jared Kushner right behind her. She touches the handrail, and then so does he. At the rally, President Trump tossed hats to his supporters. Sources tell ABC News Hicks was starting to experience symptoms. On the ride home, she was quarantined on Air Force One. ABC's Jordan Phelps was on that flight and saw Hicks exit through the back.
It was striking because at the time she was wearing a mask. It was striking because Hope Hicks never wears a mask.
Sources tell us Hicks tested positive yesterday morning. The White House won't say when the president found out. Meadows told reporters his team sprang into action just as Trump was heading out to a fundraiser in New Jersey.
In terms of Hope Hicks, we discovered that right as Marine One was taking off yesterday. We actually pulled some of the people that had been traveling in close contact.
But they didn't pull the president off the chopper. He went on to meet with about 100 supporters at his Bedminster resort, even though he knew he'd been in close contact with Hicks. The governor of New Jersey is now urging anyone who was there to take precautions.
We urge everyone who was in and around the Bedminster event or events yesterday to take full precautions, including self-quarantining and ultimately getting tested.
Hours after the fundraiser, the president appeared via video at New York's traditional Al Smith dinner and declared the COVID crisis all but over.
I just want to say that the end of the pandemic is in sight.
Then, just 6 hours later, he tweeted out his own test results. The First Lady and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. This morning, the First Lady tweeted she was experiencing mild symptoms. The White House doctor said Mrs. Trump has a mild cough and headache. Now the White House is scrambling to track down everyone who's been in contact with the president, the First Lady, and Hope Hicks. It's not an easy task. Over the past several days, the president has held one large-scale event after another with no social distancing and very few people wearing masks. Saturday, flew for supporters jammed into the Rose Garden as he announced his Supreme Court nominee. Utah Senator Mike Lee was there, caught on camera hugging one person after another. Today, Senator Lee announced he had tested positive. Also in the crowd, the president of Notre Dame, Father John Jenkins. He wasn't wearing a mask either, and today he tested positive for COVID too. Tuesday, the president and his entourage traveled to Cleveland for the debate, where he mocked Joe Biden for wearing masks.
Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Wednesday, as he headed out to his rally, he shouted answers to reporters' questions. But the president cut that rally short, and sources tell ABC the top aides noticed he appeared exhausted and fatigued. Some figured he was just tired. Others worried he may have been exposed to COVID-19.
So let's get to John Carl. He's live at Walter Reed Medical Center tonight. And John, I know you're learning more about the president's condition. Of course, he arrived there just a short time ago. What can you tell us about the symptoms he has so far and why this move?
He arrived just a short time ago. We saw the helicopter land, Marine One land right over there. The president walked out, went into a car, and was taken into the medical center. We know very little, frankly, about his condition. The press secretary said that he will be working out of the presidential offices here at the Walter Reed Medical Center for a few days regarding his condition. What we have learned is that he has those signature symptoms of COVID-19, low-grade fever, chills, nasal congestion, a cough. We also have been told from the physician, the White House physician, that Melania Trump, the First Lady, has a mild cough and headache. The other members of the First family, thankfully, have tested negative for COVID-19. We are told they are in good health. David?
John, I know you've been on this all day long. We really appreciate it. We'll come back to you if you learn anything more. And in the meantime, we do have more on the president's condition tonight. Dr. Ashish Shah, the Dean of Brown University School of Public Health, he's here. So is Jen Ashton, our doctor, in the building. We'll go to her in just a moment. Dr. Shah, first I wanted to ask you about this move to Walter Reed Medical Center. And of course, the symptoms you've heard so far, John just mentioned them: fever, chills, congestion, cough, and his own staff noticing the fatigue. But this actual move, when combined with those symptoms, what does it tell you?
Yeah, so thanks for having me on. Obviously, anytime the president is moved to a hospital, that's a concerning situation. My sense is that they're going to have a low threshold for getting him there. So we don't know a lot, and we're going to have to watch what happens. I'm particularly interested in what his oxygen level is like, what his breathing is like. We'll have to pay close attention to that.
And Dr. Jha, you talked about the other factors. You said the president's age, his weight could also play into this.
Absolutely. He is clearly in the high-risk category. He's in his mid-70s. He is overweight. We don't know about his comorbidities. All of that makes him a high-risk person for this infection, particularly concerning and really needs us to pay close attention.
Dr. Jha, stick with us here. I want to bring in Dr. Jen Ashton on the phone with us tonight. And Jen, you know the president, who was reported late today, has been given a cocktail of experimental antibody treatment. What more can you tell us about this cocktail and what that might do?
Yeah, David, this is an infusion. It's not a pill, and it's a combination of several antibodies synthetically made. So this is similar to the convalescent plasma that we've heard about coming from other patients, only these are made in a lab. They target that spike protein and actually shut down the viral replication and improve people's symptoms. So in a small trial of 275 patients, it was well tolerated, had some good results, and preliminary data is looking good. And this is an interesting option for patients who are not hospitalized, although obviously we are seeing this particular patient become hospitalized.
Dr. Ashton, thank you. And Dr. Jha, we're just, 24 hours, not even 24 hours into this move, as you mentioned, the bar very low to make sure the president is getting the care that he needs, this move perhaps. But what can you tell us about what you've seen in this virus around the country? We're in the very early stages. Sometimes we don't even see the depth of the symptoms until 4, 5, 6 days into this.
Yeah, so I think one part of this that's a little concerning to me, and I don't want to overstate this because we don't know a lot, is how quickly this is moving. He was just diagnosed yesterday, and he clearly has deteriorated today. We don't know how serious he is. It was good to see him walking by himself, but this is a little unusual. Usually it takes more days before people get much sicker. So again, keeping a close eye and looking for some data would be very helpful.
All right, Dr. Aziz Shah and Dr. Jen Ashton, both with us tonight. Our thanks to you both. We are just getting word from President Trump tonight. Here were his comments just moments ago.
I want to thank everybody for the tremendous support. I'm going to Walter Reed Hospital. I think I'm doing very well, but we're going to make sure that things work out. The First Lady is doing very well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will never forget it. Thank you.
Clearly an effort to reassure the American people, because this has been an unsettling day to say the least. Terry Moran with us now. Of course, a lot of people wondering about this chance that President Trump at some point perhaps would not be able to continue in his role, at least temporarily, and then what would happen? I know the 25th Amendment would come into play, and Terry, talk us through what could happen. Of course, this is just a possibility, but what could happen if the president, while at Walter Reed, temporarily is unable to do his job?
Well, that's it exactly, David. The 25th Amendment is there for President Trump to make use of if he sees it necessary. If at any point President Trump believes that he is unable to discharge the powers and duties of the presidency, all he has to do is write a letter, write a declaration to that effect to the House and the Senate, and that letter transfers those authorities to Vice President Mike Pence, who becomes the acting president. It's temporary. When President Trump recovers, feels better, he writes a letter saying, I feel better, and the powers and authorities come back to him. Vice President Mike Pence, we should say, has been found to be negative for coronavirus at this point. He was tested, and we are told he is negative. And the president has this opportunity. Of course, the question becomes, if he falls ill, and he looks good there, to the point where he can't send that letter, what happens then? Under the Constitution, Vice President Mike Pence would assemble the cabinet, they'd vote, and if a majority found that the president couldn't discharge his duties, Pence would become the temporary acting president again.
But we should point out the president is fully in charge at this point, and you saw that message moments ago, Terry. The president thanking the American people for their well wishes. In the meantime, there was somebody else whose health people were concerned with, and that was Joe Biden. People immediately remembering that the president was on that debate stage with Joe Biden for more than 90 minutes earlier this week. They were distanced on that stage, but they spent a lot of time together nonetheless. There was hours that went by this morning while this country waited for the test results from the Biden campaign, and Mary Bruce tonight on that part of the story.
With the news breaking shortly before 1 a.m. that the president and the first lady tested positive for coronavirus, there was immediate concern for the 77-year-old Joe Biden, whether or not he might have been infected too, after spending more than 90 minutes on that debate stage in Cleveland with the president. Biden Tuesday taking Trump to task over his handling of the pandemic.
He's been totally irresponsible the way in which he has handled the social distancing and people wearing masks, basically encouraged them not to. All right, Ben, he's a fool on this.
The podiums socially distanced over 13 feet apart, but no masks. The president often shouting over Biden.
The question is, radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
In the audience that night, Jill Biden, her face covered, a sharp contrast to those images of Trump's family and members of his inner circle, violating the rules of the Cleveland Clinic, which hosted the debate. When this healthcare worker tried to give them masks, they refused. It wasn't until mid-morning that we learned the former vice president was being tested, the country then waiting several hours for the results to come in. Just after noon, Biden tweeting, "I'm happy to report that Jill and I have tested negative for COVID. Thank you to everyone for your messages of concern." Biden taking 2 tests, both negative, before getting back on the trail, on the ground in Michigan, wishing the first family well.
My wife Jill and I pray that they'll make a quick and full recovery. This is not a matter of politics. It's a bracing reminder to all of us that we have to take this virus seriously.
With his mask on for the entire speech, Biden imploring Americans to wear them too.
So be patriotic. It's not about being a tough guy. It's about doing your part. Wearing a mask is not only going to protect you, but also protects those around you.
Joe Biden in Michigan late today. I want to get right to Mary. She's live in Wilmington, Delaware tonight, and I know this news has completely upended the campaign, really for both sides, the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign. On the Trump side, they've postponed events 32 days until the election. I know the debates are in question. We just got word tonight, Mary, that the Biden campaign is suspending negative ads for some time, given the headlines involving the president. But what are you hearing from the Biden team tonight?
Well, David, while the Trump campaign has come to a screeching halt, the Biden campaign appears to be full steam ahead. The former vice president has not canceled any of his events, but he is changing his message, tempering his usually very sharp attacks against the president and instead calling for unity. The big question now, will we see these remaining 2 debates? The next one set for just 2 weeks from now. David?
Seems difficult to believe that's going to happen, at least the one in the immediate future. Mary, thank you. We will stay on it. Of course, President Trump's diagnosis making immediate headlines around the world. The president now joining a small group of foreign leaders who have tested positive, including UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And here's our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, tonight.
Tonight, the shock expressed around the world for President Trump and the First Lady. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson wishing them a speedy recovery. Johnson himself battled COVID and was criticised for not taking precautions.
I was at a hospital the other night where I think there were actually a few coronavirus patients, and I shook hands with everybody.
He tested positive less than 4 weeks later, insisting his initial symptoms, like the president's today, were just mild. But his health took a turn for the worse, spending 3 nights in intensive care, handing temporary powers to his foreign minister, later admitting
things could have gone either way.
It was a wake-up call for a leader who, like Donald Trump and President Bolsonaro of Brazil, has been accused by some of downplaying the threat of COVID-19, only to later get infected.
This news is another stark reminder that this is a virus that respects neither man nor woman, rich nor poor. And it certainly hasn't gone away. David?
Ian Pannell in London for us. Ian, thank you. When we come back, late reporting from Walter Reed and what the White House is now saying. And the other news this Friday night, the Breonna Taylor case, grand jury recordings made public.
Beautiful, but support the leg. When I started Cobra Kai, the lack of control over my business made me a little intense. But now I practice a different philosophy. QuickBooks helps me get paid, manage cash flow, and run payroll. And now I'm back on top with Koala Kai. Hey! More mercy.
30 hours a month with Intuit QuickBooks. The easy way to a happier business.
Advanced non-small cell lung cancer can take away so much. But today, there's a combination of 2 immunotherapies you could take first. One that could mean a chance to live longer. Opdivo plus plus Yervoy is for adults newly diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that is spread and that tests positive for PD-L1 and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. It's the first and only approved chemo-free combination of two immunotherapies that works together in different ways to harness the power of the immune system. Opdivo plus Yervoy equals a chance for more days, more nights, more beautiful weekends, more ugly sweaters, more big hugs, more small outings. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system to attack normal organs and tissues in your body and affect how they work. This may happen during or after treatment is ended and can become serious and lead to death. Some of these problems may happen more often when Opdivo is used with Yervoy. See your doctor right away if you have a new or worse cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, dizziness, fainting, extreme tiredness, weight changes, constipation, excessive thirst, changes in urine or eyesight, rash, itching, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, flushing, fever, or tingling in hands and feet. These are not all the possible side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, or if you've had an organ transplant or lung, breathing, or liver problems. Here's to a chance for more together time, a chance to live longer. Ask your doctor about Opdivo plus Yervoy. Thank you to all involved in our clinical trials.
Now to news in the Breonna Taylor case tonight. Grand jury recordings were made public today. 15 hours of recordings released, including 911 calls, testimony from officers and witnesses. At one point, jurors can be heard asking a detective for the state attorney general if there was a formal plan for the police raid on Taylor's apartment. He replies, "I'm not aware of one." Testimony also revealing police did not search her apartment immediately after the shooting. When we come back here tonight, the well-known actor and the surveillance as he is attacked here in New York City, right near Central Park.
This game's boring. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey there, Robert Larson here. You know, with SimpliSafe, you get comprehensive, professionally monitored home security without having to leave your house or have anyone to come install it. You simply order it online, it gets delivered to your door, and you can set it up yourself in just a few minutes. Imagine that. So take it from an expert. Get SimpliSafe and protect your home, your family, and anything else you need to keep a close eye on.
Your mission. Stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious infections and blood clots, sometimes fatal, have occurred, as have certain cancers, including lymphoma, and tears in the stomach or intestines, and changes in lab results. Your doctor should monitor your blood work. Tell your doctor about any infections, and if you are or may become pregnant while taking Rinvoq.
Take on RA. Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. If you can't afford your medicine, AbbVie may be able to help.
This is an important message for all current and former Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America has declared bankruptcy. If you were sexually abused in scouting, you could receive compensation.
But you must file a claim in the bankruptcy case by November 16th, 2020.
You may file a sexual abuse claim regardless of your current age or the year the sexual abuse occurred.
For more information, visit officialbsaclaims.com
or call 866-907-2721.
Never run dry of killer attitude, good moves, or hydration. Neutrogena Hydro Boost, the #1 hyaluronic acid moisturizer, instantly delivers 2 times the hydration and keeps hydrating all day long. Running dry of supple, bouncy skin? Never. for 4 times the hydrating power. Neutrogena.
Actor Rick Moranis was the victim of a random attack near New York's Central Park. Surveillance showing the suspect punching him in the head. Police are still searching for the attacker. Moranis is okay. When we come back tonight, we're going to have more on the president now at Walter Reed Medical Center. The image just now coming in.
The Americans who drive our trucks and ambulances, who put fear aside and run toward the flames, these are the people we depend on. That's why at the Ford Motor Company, our Super Duties have undergone 20 million miles of testing, so that these people can depend on us.
All OTC pain relievers, including Voltaren, have one thing in common. None are proven stronger or more effective against pain than Salonpas Patch Large. There's surprising power in this patch. Salonpas. Dependable, powerful relief.
Ready to shine from the inside out? Try Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Gummies. The #1 brand to support beautiful hair, glowing skin, and healthy nails. And try Advanced, now with 2 times more biotin.
This is our moment to build a new American economy for our families and for our communities. When we spend taxpayers' money, we should use it to buy American products and support American jobs. It's time to help small businesses. We'll purchase clean energy technologies to fight climate change and enhance national security. We have to invest in what the jobs and industries of tomorrow are going to be. We have a great opportunity to build back and build back better. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump stop, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Foam keeps foam secure in any cup holder. Order your American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
I want to show you this new image coming in tonight. The president arriving at Walter Reed Medical Center just a short time ago, where he will be watched and treated in his fight against COVID-19. The president's early symptoms, a low-grade fever, chills, and fatigue. Tonight, the White House saying he was moved there out of an abundance of caution and will continue to perform his duties. Of course, we will follow this all weekend long. I'm David Muir. Good night.
Next at 6. President Trump and the First Lady test positive for COVID-19. What we know about their conditions and the impact on the campaign. Next at 6.
Next at 6. KETV News Watch 7. Omaha's news leader, here for you.
Omaha could see an extended mask mandate.
With the latest local news and weather.
There are a couple of sprinkles in here.
Your trusted source is KETV News Watch 7. Omaha's news leader.
Right now at 6, a community staple uproots its history to serve a new need.
We're going to be able to take this property and really do some amazing things with it in the years to come.
Tracking showers tonight, plus more cool weather this weekend. Plus, through the grueling year of 2020.
We see you, we understand what you're going through, and here's something that's just for you.
The effort to address racial trauma while promoting Black-owned business.
Live from Omaha's news leader. KETV News Watch 7 at 6 starts with breaking news.
Thank everybody for the tremendous support. I'm going to Walter Reed Hospital. I think I'm doing very well, but we're going to make sure that things work out. The First Lady is doing very well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will never forget it. Thank you.
It is the first we have heard from President Trump since he was diagnosed with COVID-19. We continue to follow his condition at this hour. Just a short time ago, video here of him walking from the White House, waving as he boarded Marine One to be taken to Walter Reed Medical Center. The helicopter landed there, where he will receive care for COVID-19. The White House says his symptoms include fever, chills, congestion, cough, and fatigue. Adding he's been injected with an experimental antibody cocktail for treatment. The hospital has a presidential suite where he can work out of. So far, no transfer of power. You can expect more coverage, including who the president's been in contact with over the past week and the impact this could have on the election. We will have more from Washington in a moment. But first, the transformation here at home for an iconic Omaha restaurant that closed its doors amid protests and a pandemic. Leavenworth Cafe faced backlash this summer over an item named after Confederate General Robert E. Lee and a social media post from the owner's son that seemed to promote violence against protesters. The family said it started getting threats, so it closed the business. But now, an Omaha nonprofit, Together Inc., has big plans for the space's next chapter. KETV News Watch 7's Michelle Bandur joins us live with tonight's big story. Michelle.
Well, good evening, David. When the Caniglias decided to sell the Leavenworth Cafe, it didn't have to look far for a buyer. Their neighbors, Together Inc., sits right behind the Leavenworth Cafe building, and they say today was closing day, and Together Inc. is ready to move in.
The Leavenworth Cafe will still serve up food.
We needed the space opened up, and I think we're going to be fulfilling the community needs.
Just under a different name and different mission through the nonprofit Together Inc.
We're going to be able to take this property and really do some amazing things with it in the years to come that'll be great for our community.
Such as expanding the cornerstone of the program, the food pantry. 200 people line up on Leavenworth every day to get food.
We were about halfway through the year, and we had already doubled our numbers from the previous year. So just 6 months in, we were way over our head.
Together Inc.'s food pantry broke a record in 2019, serving 42,000 that entire year. Then the pandemic hit. Together has helped 4 times that amount since March. 100,000 food insecure families.
I don't even really have words for it anymore. It's
You can just cue me.
shocking, alarming, concerning.
President and CEO Mike Hornacek tells me the new building will double their space. They'll move crisis management services to the top floor of the Leavenworth Cafe building, giving them more room for the food pantry and homeless services. There are no plans to reopen the restaurant, but with a full commercial kitchen, Hornacek has a vision that is more than just feeding those in need.
We also do nutrition classes, cooking classes, SNAP WIC outreach, and to have the capacity of a commercial kitchen in your toolbox, if you will, would be huge in helping us be able to fulfill that mission at an even higher level.
Well, and Hornacek tells me they might even look into opening possibly a smaller cafe in the future, so look for that. And he did tell me they paid $1.75 million for all this property, and he says they are still always taking donations. We'll tell you how you can do that on this story at KETV.com. Look for it there. David, back to you.
What a great next chapter for that space. Michelle, thanks for that story. Well, tonight, a big boost for another Omaha nonprofit. The Boys and Girls Club celebrated a $100,000 investment from the JBS Omaha Meatpacking Plant by renaming the cafeteria at its South Omaha location the JBS Kids Cafe. JBS helped the club serve more than 4,600 meals during the pandemic. Leaders with the Boys and Girls Club said everyone will benefit from this local investment, calling the donation absolutely critical at an uncertain time for so many families. All right, let's take a live look outside. It was a cool fall Friday to kick off our weekend, but will rain put a damper on football tonight? Weather Now meteorologist Sean Everson's tracking those chances for us. Hi, Sean.
Hey, dude. Yeah, outside right now, the clouds are overhead. It looks a little ominous, but right now the rain's staying away as we head through the early portions of the evening. Here's Super Doppler 7 radar. It looks like it's raining up in Norfolk, West Point right now. Even here, the air is dry, so a lot of this not reaching the ground right now. There's the cloud cover over Omaha, our vantage point from 72nd and Crown Point right now, 60 degrees. But again, those dew points are in the mid-30s, so near the surface, we have lots of dry air in place, so any rain that falls will likely evaporate early on this evening. Temperatures at 60 in Omaha, a little more mild down in Lincoln, Beatrice, York, a little cooler to our north and east and southwest Iowa. So you can see those showers spilling into northeast Nebraska. It's still drifting far to the southeast. So I think football, Operation 6, Week 6 of Operation Football should be dry. Any showers around 8 o'clock, likely north of the metro. Rain chances will start to go up after 9 o'clock here. I'll have more on that plus your weekend forecast in a little bit, David.
All right, Sean, thank you. Back to the breaking news we're following from Washington. The president is hospitalized for COVID-19 at the Walter Reed Medical Center. The White House says doctors are recommending that he stay there for the next few days. The diagnosis follows Hope Hicks testing positive on Thursday. She's the closest aide to the president to test positive for COVID-19. Earlier this afternoon, we learned Notre Dame President Father John Jenkins tested positive for the disease. He was at the White House on Saturday when the president announced Amy Coney Barrett as his Supreme Court nominee. Some states are warning people to get tested if they were at recent campaign stops for the president. Minnesota's health department says people who attended the Duluth rally Wednesday should get tested. Vice President Mike Pence says he and his wife have tested negative today. This follows Pence's stop Thursday in Carter Lake. Well, the diagnosis for the president could bring his campaign to a halt just a month before the 2020 election. KETV News Watch 7's Aixa Diaz talks with a political analyst on how this could impact rallies and events for both candidates going forward.
32 days before Election Day, President Trump says he tested positive for COVID-19 and will now quarantine after attending multiple campaign events this past week.
Even if this turns out to be a very, very mild case of COVID, it knocks him out of doing that for at least 10 days, 2 weeks, which is half the time between now and Election Day.
In spite of the pandemic, the president favors large in-person rallies with little mask wearing or social distancing, unlike Democratic nominee Joe Biden, who prefers smaller gatherings and virtual events. Political analyst Mark Sandalo says Biden will have to decide how often and in what manner he will bring up the president's diagnosis moving forward.
It would be very unseemly on the campaign trail for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris to look like they are trying to exploit the president's illness as an example. Biden can continue to talk about how his economic plans, how his healthcare plans, how his COVID relief plans are better than the president.
Sandalo says it's too early to know how the president's positive test will shape the race in the final stretch. But it does put the focus back on COVID-19, a deadly disease the president himself has admitted he likes to downplay.
It's very hard to do that message when you're lying in bed sick with the very disease that you were saying has been overstated.
In Washington, I'm Aixa Diaz.
All right, there's more pressure on the Omaha City Council to extend the city's current mask mandate. The Greater Omaha Chamber sent this letter to council members saying it's protecting students, families, and educators as kids head back to the classroom in OPS next week. The chamber says the mandate also protects employees while businesses continue to reopen. Right now, the mandate expires October 20th, but the council could extend it through November 24th. There are 186 new known cases of COVID-19 in the metro. This includes 50 cases where reporting was delayed because of the cyber attack at Nebraska Medicine. The death toll climbs by 2 people in Douglas County, with one of the victims under the age of 20. 196 people have died from virus complications in the county since the start of the pandemic. Statewide, the positivity rate stands at 9.9% for Nebraska tonight. We'll get updated numbers from the state shortly. The total case count tips over 46,000 with 493 deaths since the start of the pandemic. In Iowa, the state reports more than 1,000 new known COVID-19 cases for the third straight day. Iowa averaged nearly 900 cases a day in the past week. There are now more than 91,000 people who have tested positive since the pandemic began in Iowa. More than 1,300 Iowans have died. Well, new at 6, addressing racial trauma in North Omaha.
It allows you to celebrate the moment instead of living in the despair of the moment.
The concept of self-care boxed up for Omaha's Black community. How these care packages are also promoting Black-owned businesses in tonight's Project Community Report. But first, let's check back in with Sean.
Yeah, right now we got clouds over the Omaha Metro, but we are dry for the start of football here later this evening as we look over I-80. Right now, temperature sits at 60 degrees. Today, our high 61 after a chilly start, just about freezing, 33 below at Eppley Airfield. No rain today, but tracking some showers as we head into tonight. I'll more come up in the full forecast.
All right, Sean, before we go, here's another live look at Walter Reed Medical Center, where President Trump landed just a short time ago. He's being treated for his recent COVID-19 diagnosis. We're back right after this.
KETV Sports. Sports Operation Football, your #1 source for high school football coverage. Featuring the monster matchup and fan favorite game of the week, Operation Football, tonight on KETV, sponsored by Demons Collision Center.
Gambling on liberal Teresa Greenfield could cost Iowa families over $2,200 a year. That's the tax increase we'll be stuck with if we bet on the Greenfield Nancy Pelosi liberal health care scheme. That's bad odds for Iowans who could also lose their employer-provided health insurance by taking a chance on the Greenfield Pelosi plan. Teresa Greenfield, a risky bet for Iowa families. PlainsPact is responsible for the content of this advertising. Every year, Nebraskans are spending $400 million gambling in neighboring states. This November 3rd, Nebraskans get to vote to keep the money in Nebraska. Voting to legalize gaming means those millions stay here at home, generating a new taxable revenue stream. 70% of this taxable revenue will go directly to fund the Property Tax Relief Program. There are 3 measures you need to vote for. Vote for Measure 429 to allow gaming at Nebraska horse racing tracks. Vote for Measure 430 to establish a gaming commission to regulate casino gaming. Vote for Measure 431 to tax casino gaming revenue for property tax relief and more. This election, vote for all 3 measures, 429, 430, and 431. We can keep the money in Nebraska and make the good life even better. Paid for by Keep the Money in Nebraska Committee.
Congressman Bacon sure loves cooking, but in Washington, Congressman Bacon's only cooking up deals for his special interest donors. Like when Bacon bragged he voted hell yes to let insurance companies slice and dice protections for people with pre-existing conditions, like heart disease, and hell yes to serving up an age tax on older Nebraskans. Congressman Bacon cooking up deals for special interest while Nebraskans get burned. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You don't have to borrow much to get underwater in debt with a payday loan. Payday lenders charge over 400% annual interest, preying on vulnerable Nebraskans, military veterans, communities of color, seniors, and young people. It's time for this to stop. Initiative 428 will make sure they can't charge more than 36%, protecting Nebraskans' financial future in these uncertain times. Vote for 428 to stop predatory lending. It's the fair thing to do.
We're still following this breaking news from Washington. New video here shows the president getting off Marine One, walking into the Walter Reed Medical Center, where he is being treated now by doctors for COVID-19. He released a video message a short time ago saying he is doing very well. Doctors want him to stay at the hospital out of an abundance of caution for the next few days. You can get updates on this on KETV.com. Putting an emphasis on self-care while promoting black businesses. That is the driving force behind the dozens of free care packages One Omaha organization is now giving out. KETV News Watch 7's Quinicia Fraser has this project community report.
Deanna Williams puts a lot of thought into the gift boxes she makes. And I also like to find things that maybe they haven't been introduced to before. She's owned her business, Uma and Rose, for a few years now. This was exciting for me because I got to meet a lot of new bakers and vendors. Ashley Spivey, founder of Young Black and influential Omaha, asked her to help create self-care boxes for the black community, especially during this time now with people trying to navigate social unrest, the implications of COVID-19, and then just like regular life. We figured that this would be a great time to do something intentional. It allows you to celebrate the moment instead of living in the despair of the moment. Spivey says that despair comes from racial trauma triggered by incidents like the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Violence against black bodies and black community have always existed, but right now you see very viral in your face because of technology acts of violence. The boxes meant to address that trauma are free to anyone in the black community. We see you, we understand what you're going through, and here's something that's just for you. Every item inside comes from a black-owned business. Black Bottom Biscotti, she's local here to Omaha. She is one of my dear friends. I don't think black folks take care of themselves. We are doing a lot, we navigate a lot, and it can be really heavy. Being able to see that the joy that this has been able to bring to the community it's been very touching for me. Spivey says she hopes these boxes remind Black people to take care of themselves and each other.
It can be small acts like this, or it can be larger policy and advocacy work.
In Omaha, Codicia Fraser.
We are truly a community, and this is how we can support each other.
KETV Newswatch 7.
All right, you can help Young, Black, and Influential raise money for these boxes by donating. To do that, or to sign up for a box, go to the Young, Black, and Influential Facebook page. All right, Sean's back with us here tonight. Got dangerously close to freezing in Omaha, Sean.
Yeah, this morning, chilly start, and our coldest temperatures we've seen in almost 6 months. Got to go all the way back to mid-April. So hopefully you covered up your plants and brought them inside. Had the hard freeze up in Denison, Harlan, Carroll, 33 in Omaha, 32 in Lincoln. Though today we had a little bit of sunshine, but still cool here as we head into the weekend. 60 degrees right now, light breeze, dew points though hanging in the mid-30s. So a little bit cooler, 50s in southwest Iowa, low to mid-60s in Nebraska, 64 right now. Beatrice, Lincoln, 61 in Fremont. But when we're talking about dew points in the 30s, that means there's lots of dry air closer to the surface. So even though Super Doppler 7 radar right now looks like we're seeing light rain West Point back towards Norfolk, Columbus. A lot of this is evaporating, not reaching the ground right now as it starts to move southeast closer to the Omaha Metro. So week 6 Operation Football. I think most of the games will be dry here in the Metro. Any rain by around 8 o'clock likely stays to our north, but then by 9, 10 o'clock we could see some of that light rain making it into Omaha. But it's classic football weather. Temperatures in the 50s, a little cool here in early October. Clouds filtering in this afternoon, and here come the showers from South Dakota. Upper level disturbance dropping southeast, so we're going to move right over to the viewing area tonight into early tomorrow morning. So time it out, 8, 9 o'clock, most of the activity off to our north and west. A little bit better chance later on in the evening, overnight. There's midnight, and then by 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Still could have some of these light rain showers to start off Saturday, but most of that activity moves to our east after 10 o'clock. So it's early morning, we could see some rain, but clouds will try to hang on as we go through the afternoon. So outdoor plans tomorrow, rain early on. Otherwise, it's still going to be cool. Tomorrow highs around 60, 62 on Sunday. So more of that typical fall feel here as we head through the weekend. So bigger picture, showers move through with a disturbance tonight, linger tomorrow morning, and then those showers head off. And if we see the clouds hanging around tomorrow afternoon, that could keep highs in the upper 50s. Tonight, though, we're not going to cool off quite as much as we saw early this morning. 47 for the low, impact back on in with the scattered showers. Again, before 9, 10 o'clock, that's a chance for rain tomorrow. Otherwise, just a cool weekend. And then look at next week. Ooh, we're right back up. Upper 70s to around 80. Monday and Tuesday, and continuing all the way into Friday there, dated. But tonight, a little chilly than we've seen the last couple of weekends.
All right. Thanks, Sean. Next year at 6, this Scott Skyhawk is making an instant impact. Week 6 of Operation Football. Andy Kendi leads our team coverage next. This is KETV Newswatch 7 at 6.
NFL coach Ron Rivera, unstoppable. Coaching even as he fights cancer in the midst of COVID. He hasn't given any interviews about his battle with cancer. Now Monday he will with Robin Roberts. What does he now want you to know? Monday on Good Morning America.
Went to college in California, lost touch with reality. Came back loony, loud, and proud of it. You know the type. If you've met Carl Eastman, treats Bernie like the Beatles. Imagines a green new world where no one eats meat.
Too much bacon is bad for your health.
And we all bite to work to collect tiny paychecks defunded by tax hikes. Just Medicare for all, abolishing private insurance. Next, the police, dangerous in the real world. But would Eastman know? Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of these episodes.
California liberals sending thousands of dollars to Iowa? That's Jennifer Pelland's campaign. Pelland claims to be running for the people of Council Bluffs. What are her real ties? To extreme liberal activists and lobbyists she's taken thousands from. The same activists who backed Elizabeth Warren for president. And Pelland's liberal policies? She supports a job-killing environmental agreement that kills thousands of jobs and gives China a pass. California cash and extremist policies? That's Jennifer Pelland's Iowa.
I'm David Young, and I approve this message.
Cindy Axne gives away our vote to a far-left congressman when she bothers to show up. Axne votes 95% for Pelosi's agenda that hurts Iowa. Axne and Pelosi are pushing higher taxes on Iowa families, farmers, and small businesses. They're healthcare scheme raises taxes $2,800, could cut Medicare benefits, and threatens to shut down rural hospitals.
Cindy Axne is a rubber stamp for Nancy Pelosi and her agenda.
She's not representing Iowa.
China cheers civil unrest in our communities, steals American jobs and intellectual property, and spews propaganda on the global pandemic it unleashed. But where does Kate Bowles stand? Bowles took a trip to China, bankrolled by a group tied to the Communist Party, then lectured us that Nebraska has much to learn from China. Kate Bowles' embrace of China is offensive, dangerous, and wrong. I'm Clara Eastman, and I approve this message.
How did healthcare get so expensive? It all starts with campaign cash from the presidency to Tom Bacon and Donald Trump. Then Donald Trump pushed a bill to cut protection for pre-existing conditions, and Don Bacon bragged he was voting hell yes. They gave the big drug companies a huge tax break too, and opposed allowing Medicare to negotiate lower prices for prescription drugs. Tom Bacon and Donald Trump made our healthcare a mess.
Scott Frost meets the media for the first time since the Big Ten returned to football. The Huskers head coach grateful for the opportunity that his team gets to play games this fall, even if they face a challenging schedule that includes Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Penn State in the first 4 weeks.
You know, I think we probably landed with probably the toughest strength schedule in the conference, and because the conference is so strong, maybe the country. I don't think our guys care. The players don't care. They just want an opportunity to compete. I don't think beggars can be choosers. Sometimes if they tell us we're playing on a Thursday, we need to be ready to play on a Thursday. If it's Sunday, it's Sunday. And if it's in Uzbekistan, we're going to have to probably stop in a couple places on the way over there. Wherever and whenever we get to play, our guys are just excited to get a chance to compete.
One injury to tell you about defensive back Braxton Clark, likely out for the season with a shoulder injury, according to Frost. The opener 3 weeks from tomorrow. It's at Ohio State. Week 6, Operation Football, unique monster matchup. Doesn't happen often where a Class A team taking on a Class B squad with this much at stake. Gretna renewing its rivalry against perennial power Scott Catholic. KETV News Watch 7's Matt Lothrop is live at Scott Moylan Stadium with details. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, Andy, you know, with an odd number of teams in Class A this year, means each week this fall we're going to see one of these Class A versus Class B crossover games. And like you said, it is kind of an old rematch of district rivals as Gretna plays Scott here at Moylan Field. Gretna now, of course, in Class A, but Scott coming in with a little bit of a Class A flair as this marks the 3rd game of the season that they will see Sam Scott in the fold for the Skyhawks. The transfer from Omaha North scored touchdowns in his first 2 games. His new coach, Matt Turman, says his versatility is one of his praise. He really praises his versatility. He says he can bounce around to several spots on defense and is really a tough runner between the tackles on offense. Now, the change for Scott did come with some sacrifices as his family did have to move locations, and they do have to pay tuition now at a private school.
The plans I had for a spring season. I didn't want to have a spring season. I wanted to be able to continue my recruitment and play football this fall, and so I just felt like coming here to Scout was the best option.
When they see other kids from schools that didn't get that opportunity, I think they realized what was happening, and they've accepted him with open arms. You know, so and they see he's a good player, and they see that, and overall he can help our team be successful.
Well, Scott mentioned recruiting there. He says even if no more scholarship offers come his way, the move to play yet this fall is worth it. But he did tell me that since the move, Wyoming has ramped up its recruiting efforts quite a bit. Well, we have an unbeaten team in Class A against one of the Class B Blue Bloods. Kickoff on the top of the hour with another matchup of Class B contenders. We go to Matt Foster, who joins us in Plattsmouth.
It's week 6 of our fan favorite, and the matchups just keep getting better. Tonight's game features 2 top 10 teams from Class B, 2nd-ranked Norris looking for a big road win at 8th-ranked Plattsmouth, but that's easier said than done. The Blue Devils come into this meeting 5-0, one of just 2 teams in Class B that have yet to lose a game. They've gotten to this point of the season unblemished so far, thanks in large part to their run game. Senior running back Christian Meneses leads Class B with 183 rushing yards per game and 11 touchdowns. But the Titans have their own offensive weapon, senior James Carney, The 6'5", 220-pound tight end is one of, if not the best in the entire state of Nebraska, averaging 58 receiving yards per game, along with 4 touchdowns on the season. So it would seem whichever team does a better job containing Carnier Manassas will leave here tonight with the win. Reporting in Plattsmouth, Matt Foster, KETV News Watch 7 Sports.
All right, thank you, Matt. Other games will be at tonight. Millard North, top-ranked West Side. Millard South at Lincoln Pius X. Elkhorn South hosts Bellevue East, and Lincoln East takes on Millard West over at Buell. We'll also have Bennington at South Sioux, and the battle of Council Bluffs. AL and TJ. St. Albert hosts Tri-Center. It's all on Operation Football tonight at 10. Baseball, Cubs lose to the Marlins 2-0. Cubs eliminated. Cardinals and Padres just getting started. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. NBA Finals tonight. Heat, Lakers. Game 2. Who you got, David?
I think the Lakers.
Lakers. No overtime.
I'm still
Lakers.
upset about the Cubs.
Right. That game starts at 8 right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Andy. This is KTV News Watch 7 at 6. Let's take a live look outside over the West Dodge Expressway from our camera on top of what will be the Schwab building next week. How about that? See you right after this break.
The Conference on Opportunity, Diversity, and Equity. Register today at omahachamber.org.
This former Husker's first NBA season.
For me, it was a chaotic year, I would say.
Injured, traded, then the pandemic shutdown.
But I think it was exactly what I needed.
How Isaiah Roby says he's now building for next year, Sunday after the game.
Every day you left your family to go to work. You did it to provide for them. And in each paycheck, the government withheld your money to pay for your Medicare. But Kara Eastman's extreme plan would redistribute your Medicare to everyone. Even though it could hit Omaha the hardest, Kara Eastman wants Bernie's radical plan that could destroy your Medicare. That's why we must defeat radical Kara Eastman. Those benefits belong to you. NRCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Joni Ernst ran on her Iowa roots. She said she'd never move to Washington, but the first chance she got, she put down roots in Washington, and she fit right in. In January 2016, Ernst bought a luxury condo just steps from the Capitol. Shortly thereafter, it was discovered her campaign knowingly and illegally accepted thousands in prohibited campaign contributions. From the condo to the campaign contributions, Joni Ernst really did go Washington after all. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hi, I'm Iowa Senator Dan Dawson. 4 years ago, you voted for change and put an end to politics as usual. I'm so proud of what we've been able to accomplish together. We gave working families the largest tax cut in Iowa's history, secured vital new resources for our local schools and teachers, supported small businesses and families hurt by the pandemic, and made mental health a priority. We've come a long way, but we're just getting started. I'm asking for your vote again on November 3rd.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, your choice. A medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get your Autumn Feast today. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
I've been driving trucks for 23 years. I'm a proud union guy and Teamster, but I won't be voting for Joe Biden. For over 40 years, Biden's voted to ship American jobs overseas. Now, he's pushing for the largest tax increase in American history.
If you elect me, you're not going to have your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
Joe Biden will kill jobs and drive our economy into the ground.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here's tonight's primetime lineup on KETV Channel 7, sponsored by Godfather's Pizza. A pizza you can't refuse.
All right, stick with Omaha's news leader this evening as we follow the president being admitted to Walter Reed Medical Center for COVID-19. KETV mobile app has updates all night long. Sean's back with us with one last look at the forecast.
Yeah, cloudy right now, David, but tracking some rain chances tonight. But I think, again, most of the games in Omaha tonight for high school football stay dry. Rain chances go up, I think, after 9 o'clock. But any rain we get will be light. It's a cool evening here as we head into the weekend. It's going to stay cool Saturday and Sunday as well. Any rain tomorrow should wrap up by 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, but highs in the 60s before we see that warm up next week.
Okay, Sean, thanks. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Our next live newscast is at 9 o'clock on MeTV Omaha, and then you can catch Operation Football highlights tonight after the game right here on KETV. See you then.
we should grab those devices and we're going to give away $1,000 right now. In our first toss-up, we hope we are. Phrase is the category. And is all set, and here it comes. Cindy.
Buckle your seatbelts.
That's it, you got it. See how easy it is? Nothing to it. Excuse me, Cindy Lowe, Long Beach, California, recruiter for a tech company.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and married.
Yes, married to my best friend, life partner, Burke.
And you kind of bounce back and forth between Southern California and Las Vegas. Huh?
That's right. We are super fortunate in that we are both able to work from home, and so we can split our time between our homes.
That's terrific. Well, win some money here tonight, okay?
I hope so.
You already have. Hi, Reggie.
Hey, Pat.
Reggie Brown, Sherman Oaks, California. Reggie, I'm going to confess something. I don't understand your card at all. I see comedic impression. I see events. I see keynote speeches. I see hedge clipping.
All right.
Please tell me.
Well, I wear many hats, like most of us. I'll break it down real quick. They call me the Clipping Crusader because when I see something overgrown, whether it's a tree or bush, I trim it down. I've trimmed about 150 trees and bushes from Sherman Oaks Ranch to Cucamonga, just making the world a more beautiful, better place for everyone. And safer. I don't want to, people have to and I am a corporate comedian, so for the past 11 years, I've been traveling the world, performing as Barack Obama, now delivering my keynote how to be President of the United States. So that's what I do. I hope that cleared it up.
Sort of. So, do I have to ask you to come clip something, or are you just going to walk into my
Just
yard?
give me your address. If I see anything that's overgrown, I'll take care of it.
I could use a little right here.
Oh, I got you.
Nice to have you here. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Pat.
Now it's your turn. Jennifer Elizondo from Lakewood, homeschool teacher.
Yes.
And talk about your family.
Yes, I've been married to my husband, Doug, for about 16 years now. We have two wonderful kids, Jason, who's 11, and Olive, who's 9.
Yeah, you guys like to go to national parks?
We do. My husband is actually also a teacher, so we have our summers off.
Perfect.
And we love to travel to the national parks and just explore new places.
It's a great thing for families to do.
Yeah.
It's good to have you all here. Get ready. We'll do another toss-up. This one is worth $2,000, and the category is showbiz. Cindy.
Feel good movie?
Yeah, wow. Jumped right in there. And that did feel good, didn't it?
That felt good.
Yeah, she's got $3,000 already. Our first round puzzle is What Are You Doing? And our first round spinner will be Cindy.
Great.
Now, be nice time to find a letter.
What to start?
Yeah.
N.
Well, there are two N's, and you can pick up that $1 million wedge right out of the gate.
Hey, no pressure.
Well, you can't get that any earlier, which means, of course, there's a long way to go, but that's all right. Spin again. Well, we won't touch the $1 million wedge.
Thank you.
Reggie, your turn.
Here we go.
We are ready.
B.
I'll take S. S.
Yes. One S. Yes, right there.
G.
Here comes a G, and you're up to $3,200 already. $650.
R.
One R.
I'd like to buy a vowel. I.
There are 3 I's.
I'd like to buy another vowel.
Okay.
O.
2 O's, yeah. Well, you're doing very well. Still have over $3,300. What's next?
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Cruising with the top down.
Very nice. Wow.
Who?
They all have cabs double parked outside or something. They're solving quickly here. Congratulations on that. We'll take a quick commercial just to keep the theme going and be right back.
Nancy Pelosi and liberal interest groups are lining up behind Teresa Greenfield. She's the candidate of D.C. liberals who support the Green New Deal, the socialist plan which would cause electric bills to skyrocket and raise gas prices to $13 a gallon. D.C. liberal groups have spent over $50 million to elect Teresa Greenfield because they know she's really one of them. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
California liberals sending thousands of dollars to Iowa? That's Jennifer Pelland's campaign. Pelland claims to be running for the people of Council Bluffs. What are her real ties? To extreme liberal activists and lobbyists she's taken thousands from. The same activists who backed Elizabeth Warren for president. And Pelland's liberal policies? She supports a job-killing environmental agreement that kills thousands of jobs and gives China a pass. California cash and extremist policies? That's Jennifer Pelland's Iowa.
Hey Rick, how's it going? Good. How are you doing? My entire life I've been a Democrat. I just want nothing to do with them anymore. Teresa Greenfield is much too liberal for me. I don't think Teresa Greenfield is capable of standing up to the radical left because she's already in their pocket. I'm a lifelong Democrat, but I'm voting for Joni Ernst.
I'm Joni Ernst, and I approve this message.
Tonight's Road Trip Show is brought to you by the following. Tonight's mystery round is brought to you by Eggland's Best Eggs. These days, better nutrition is more important than ever. That's why Eggland's Best gives you and your family more for stronger immunity and a healthier diet. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Only Eggland's Best. $10,000.
Okay, thanks a lot. Before and after, that's the category for this round. Keep that category in mind. If you forget about it, sometimes the puzzle can get a little confusing. Reggie, go ahead.
Let's get it done.
And it's 700.
And
Yes, one N.
S.
One S. $600.
G.
There's a G.
11 by Bob. D.
You got it, 4 of them.
C. She.
R.
Yep, one more. Actually, 3 more. And now you have $3,200.
I'd like to buy a vowel. O.
Yep, another good buy. 2 O's.
Keep going, baby.
600.
P.
One P. Is he allowed to call the wheel baby? I'm not sure. Check on that.
Oh.
Baby, what are you doing? Come on, baby. Jennifer, your turn.
All right.
Come on, get out of there. Ah, the loser turn got you. I'm sorry. Cindy? $650.
T.
Yeah, there's a T. $650.
W.
Yeah, here come 2 W's. You have $1,950 and a big grin on your face.
I would like to solve.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Flower power steering.
You got it.
Flower powers.
Well, you're just $50 shy of $5,000, I believe, at this point, but it's certainly anybody's game, that's for sure. And we'll be back to see how things develop after you watch these messages, please.
You got a good beard going there. How long has that been going on?
It's been about a half hour.
Dennis Allen, Adam Sandler, and Twitch's biggest fan.
Monday at 4 on KETV Channel 7.
I'm Cara Eastman, and I approve this message.
How did healthcare get so expensive? It all starts with campaign cash from the drug industry to Don Bacon and Donald Trump. Then Donald Trump pushed a bill that gutted protections for pre-existing conditions. And Don Bacon bragged he was voting hell yes. to provide for them. And in each paycheck, the government withheld your money to pay for your Medicare. But Kara Eastman's extreme plan would redistribute your Medicare to everyone. Even though it could hit Omaha the hardest, Kara Eastman wants Bernie's radical plan that could destroy your Medicare. That's why we must defeat radical Kara Eastman. Those benefits belong to you. NRCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Joni Ernst ran on her Iowa roots. She said she'd never move to Washington, but the first chance she got, she put down roots in Washington, and she fit right in. In January 2016, Ernst bought a luxury condo just steps from the Capitol. Shortly thereafter, it was discovered her campaign knowingly and illegally accepted thousands in prohibited campaign contributions. From the condo to the campaign contributions, Joni Ernst really did go Washington after all. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
KETV Sports Operation Football, your #1 source for high school football coverage, featuring the monster matchup and fan favorite game of the week, Operation Football, tonight on KETV, sponsored by David's Collision Center.
All right, boys and girls, we're back. It's fun and games. That's what we're having. That's the category, and it's our prize puzzle. Jennifer, come on. 700.
S.
I'm sorry, there's no S in that puzzle. Cindy.
Let's go, Cindy.
800.
N.
There is an N. Actually, there are two of them. Okay.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yeah.
E.
There are two E's.
I'd like to buy another vowel. A.
And there are two A's. $900.
R.
One R. $550.
B.
Yep, on she goes here. Two B's.
Can I buy an I?
You sure can. You'll get three of them.
Caribbean.
All the vowels are gone.
I would like to solve the puzzle.
All right, go ahead.
Caribbean nightlife?
Yeah, that's it. Wow. Very nice. $2,850. No wasting any time here. And you're going to Aruba.
Welcome, Sydney's local safe on Bini. Bask in a tropical glow at the luxurious Divi Dutch Village, Aruba's finest all-suite resort. This beautiful destination boasts striking elegance and ultimate comfort. Visit DiviResorts.com. $8,300.
My goodness, Cindy, you're up to $16,100, but it's beautiful. It's switch in a hurry. Come on back. We have a triple toss-up coming up. We'll give away $6,000.
Closed captioning sponsored by abdominal pain or discomfort, bloating. You may be the 1 in 6 living with IBS. Ask your doctor about non-prescription IV Guard for the daily dietary management of IBS. IV Guard, Daily Gut Health Guard.
Every year, Nebraskans are spending $400 million gambling in neighboring states. This November 3rd, Nebraskans get to vote to keep the money in Nebraska. Voting to legalize gaming means those millions stay here at home, generating a new taxable revenue stream. 70% of this taxable revenue will go directly to fund the Property Tax Relief Program. There are 3 measures you need to vote for. Vote for Measure 429 to allow gaming in Nebraska horse racing tracks. Vote for Measure 430 to establish a gaming commission to regulate casino gaming. Vote for Measure 431 to tax casino gaming revenue for property tax relief and more. This election, vote for all 3 measures, 429, 430, and 431. We can keep the money in Nebraska and make the good life even better. Paid for by Keep the Money in Nebraska Committee.
Congressman Bacon sure loves cooking, but in Washington, Congressman Bacon's only cooking up deals for his special interest donors. Like when Bacon bragged he voted hell yes to let insurance companies slice and dice protections for people with pre-existing conditions, like heart disease, and hell yes to serving up an age tax on
responsible for the content of this advertising. We have three toss-ups coming. That's why we call it a triple. A food and drink, the category, and here is the first of the three. Jennifer.
Eggs Benedict.
Now we're talking. There you go. We got $2,000. See if you can pick up some more. Here comes number two.
Salisbury steak.
Salisbury steak.
There you go. The woman knows her food. Here is the third. Jennifer?
Bananas Foster.
Yeah, that's it. Jennifer would just like to keep working off the menu here. She got all three of them, so you're right back in this with $6,000. Congratulations. What are you wearing? That is the category for this next one. And Jennifer, you get spin.
All right, here you go.
500.
D.
There's no D, I'm sorry. Cindy.
N.
T.
Yes, one T.
I'd like to buy a vowel. E.
Let's see, 4 E's in the puzzle. Good for you. Here they come. $600.
R.
Yeah, 2 R's.
I'd like to buy another vowel.
Yeah.
A.
There is an A, and that's it for vowels. They are gone.
Greater.
Wow.
C.
Yeah, 2 C's. And let me guess,
Crep.
you solved the puzzle, right?
I'd love to
Yeah,
solve
go
the
ahead.
puzzle, please. Crew neck sweater.
I know your style by now. There you go. Well, who can blame her? She's doing very well. With a little over $2,500 that round. She's up over $18,000. But we've been zipping along. We have time for another puzzle, and we will see it right now. The category for this one is place. And Sydney, we start with you this time. $650.
T.
There is no T. Reggie. $600.
S.
No, there's no S. Jennifer. $700.
R.
Yes, there is an R. 2 R's coming your way. That's $1,400.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Okay.
E.
2 E's.
I'd like to buy another vowel.
Okay.
I.
1 I. $500.
N.
Yes, we do have an N. There it is. And what do you want to do next? $1,400.
I'd like to buy a vowel. An A.
No, afraid not. No A. Cindy.
Garner.
C.
Yeah, 2 C's.
I'm gonna spin one more time.
Corner. Corner.
700.
F.
Yeah, there are 2 F's. That's why she did it. She didn't get 2 letters for the table. All right, $2,600.
Corner office.
Corner office.
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Over 21,000. You know what? We have time for another one. You
Let's
guys
do
are
it.
great. Let's get to another one. The category for this one is thing, and that sound means time to run a little short. Thank you. I'm going to give. Whoop! I forgot my white thing. I'll give it a final spin. Ask you to give me a letter. Puzzle 3 seconds to solve it. Vowels worth nothing. Consonants.
$900.
$1,900 a piece. Again, it's a thing. And Reggie, we start with you. Let's have a letter.
S.
No S. Jennifer.
D.
No. Cindy.
T.
Yes, 2 T's. 3 seconds.
Extra.
Cindy? Oh, you like those, especially two of them, don't you?
Extra effort.
Extra effort.
Yeah,
Mm.
you did. Well, not even breaking a sweat today. $7,600 that round. Our big winner, $28,850. Wow. Back to you in just a second. Everybody wants something. We're always happy about that. Reggie, $3,350. Good luck with your hedges and your
Thank you.
concerts and whatever else you're doing. Okay, good to be with us. And Jennifer, you know, if we just did food and drink toss-up, you could be the biggest winner in the history of Wheel of Fortune. As it is, you won $6,000. We're very happy about that. Thank you. All right, Cindy, I'm going to give you three categories. Choose one for the bonus round. Phrase, event, thing.
Phrase.
Okay, we'll see how that choice plays out when we come back.
Stay tuned. Cindy can drive home in a new Winnebago Solus. The bonus round is next.
Cell phone repair.
Did you know Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need? Just get a quote at libertymutual.com.
Really? Check that out. Oh, yeah. Think I might get a quote. Ken.
Oh man.
This is the benefit of Blue.
Doug.
Yeah, Limu.
After all these years, it's the ones that gotta haunt me the most. Because you're not like everybody else. That's why Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance. So you only pay for what you need. What? Oh, I said. Oh, this is my floor. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
911. What's the address of the emergency?
I need an ambulance.
What happened?
They have a gun. They have a gun.
I'm here and I'm gonna help you.
What is he doing with the knife? Ma'am, you still alive?
Emergency Call. New Monday on ABC.
You're having quite a night. $28,850. I like your puzzle-solving style. You do it right away, unless you know there are two F's up there. All right, spin the wheel.
All right.
All right, you're going to head over to your mark, and let's see what happens on the eye, which is represented in the wind, which I hope that means something, okay? Phrase is what you chose, as I recall. R-S-T-L-N-E. You have some of those letters, I presume, Ben, otherwise that would be really unfair of us. Looks like a picket fence there. Let's fill some in. Three more consonants, one more vowel.
B.
Yes.
C. D. And A.
Okay, basically A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
All right, ask our audience to be very quiet as we go through this.
That
It's a phrase. Is she
be ideal.
10 seconds. Good luck.
That would be ideal.
Wouldn't it though? Yeah.
That would be ideal.
You just don't waste time no matter what you do, and then you win another $38,000. Wow.
Cindy came out of town with cash. $38,000.
You know you have $66,850 cash in line. It is.
Could you say that again?
$66,850. Good, man?
That's wonderful.
All right, but you only get it once. Congratulations. So you ran it out of your head.
Congratulations, Cindy. You won the bonus round. Brought to you by Cookie
you ever dreamed about being a contestant, standing at the wheel with Pat?
I mean, who hasn't?
Fulfill your dreams with our brand new virtual auditions.
Solve fun, interactive puzzles from the comfort of your own home.
Trying out has never been easier.
Go to wheeloffortune.com and you'll get all the details. You were going to sleep well tonight.
Yes, I am.
So we had 6 rounds tonight. Plus we had the triple toss-up, that's 9, plus 2 other toss-ups, right? Yeah, that's 11,
Yes.
plus the bonus round. You did 12 puzzles tonight.
I'm exhausted.
It's not easy. Show me that arm. It's very, very. Yeah, there you go. It was a good play tonight, and we did play a lot of rounds.
Yes,
We're
we
happy
did.
about that. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. So rest up.
Bye.
Promotional consideration provided by
Prevagen. You might take something for your heart, but do you take something for your brain? In clinical trials, Prevagen improves short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Mesothelioma is all we do. For over 10 years, we have offered a free book on mesothelioma. Call 1-800-400-8403.
Join us again next week.
For more fun on America's Game.
Nancy Pelosi and liberal interest groups are lining up behind Teresa Greenfield. She's the candidate of D.C. liberals who support the Green New Deal, the socialist plan which would cause electric bills to skyrocket and raise gas prices to $13 a gallon. D.C. liberal groups have spent over $50 million to elect Teresa Greenfield because they know she's really one of them. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
China cheers civil unrest in our communities, steals American jobs and intellectual property, and spews propaganda on the global pandemic it unleashed. But where does Kate Bowles stand? Bowles took a trip to China, bankrolled by a group tied to the Communist Party, then lectured us that Nebraska has much to learn from China. Kate Bowles' embrace of China is offensive, dangerous, and wrong.
I'm Jeff Fortenberry, and I approve this message.
President Donald J. Trump delivered on the impossible in his first term, and in his second term, he will continue to fight for you. President Trump will end our reliance on China, eradicate the coronavirus, and make our medicines and supplies here in the United States. Create 10 million jobs in the next 10 months. This is President Trump's vision for America, one of boundless optimism and certainty in America's greatness.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Scattered showers moving in tonight. My forecast, it's in.
3 hours siya pala ito.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live Game Night. Tonight,
Mm-hmm.